Well, good morning, church family. This is Mark, and I wanted to give you an update. I think each day is going to be a new day, a unique day, and we'll probably be chatting pretty frequently. First, I love you guys. Good morning, and I hope you have a great day. The Lord's alive and seated on His throne. He's in control, and we trust Him, and He's good. And He has not misplaced us, and He will guide us through all things. So be of great cheer. Last night, I announced that the church is going to try to get smaller, moving into house churches. That might mean single households in many cases, or single families if things escalate to the point of no travel or such in the United States. So we might be meeting individually or with our families. Or we'll be gathering in house churches. And I wanted to kind of reinforce that the heart of this is about being the best version of church that we can possibly be. While we might be decentralized or having to meet in small quarters, the mission is the same. And that is to proclaim Christ and to love our neighbor and to be Jesus-centered, Jesus-satisfied, to be disciples who make disciples. That has not changed at all. See, the church is not really just about delivering religious content. There's a whole bunch of one another things that we're called to. Love one another, bear each other's burdens, admonish one another, teach one another, provide for one another. All of these things that we do as a church, which are not just about content delivery. So you could say, man, I'm just going to kind of get on the internet. I'm going to watch something religious or spiritual or get some Bible teaching from somewhere. And that's certainly a great thing. But what we're trying to do is still track as a local church that have made commitments and covenants to each other and to our community. And this is why we're trying to redistribute some content to keep us kind of tracking the same direction. Even while we decentralize, we're not consumers of religious services. We are a church, and again, trying to be the best version of that as we can be. So a couple questions have already come up in the last day. First, question number one: what if I don't feel comfortable gathering at all with people? And the simple answer is, well, then don't. If you are sick or concerned about sick or passing virus in any way, then don't. Certainly track with your church, though. Take advantage of any of the connection opportunities, and then ask yourself the question: how can I be the best version of a Jesus follower in these times in my isolation? That probably means picking up the phone and calling on some people that you may not have called on before. I'd ask you to particularly think of your neighbors and not just your church family. Are there ways that you can support them emotionally? Doing some video chats, playing games over the phone, just talking about stuff. If you are able to travel, offering to run errands or things for them. If we have a nice day, talk outside at a distance from each other. So if you don't feel comfortable at all leaving your home, please honor that and try to figure out how to be the best version of a Christian you can be and a neighbor you can be. Question number two: what if I just want to come to church on Sunday like normal? And the answer to that one is, well, there's not normal anymore. We're in a new phase, and so we're going to discover a new normal, and that could change by the week and by the day. And so I'm asking you to just try to trust the Lord and follow leadership in the direction that the church has given you here. Your conscience is giving you, but there won't be a large public gathering on Sunday morning for at least 8 weeks. Another question came up: why should I keep giving to the church if I'm not attending in person? And that's a great question. The answer simply is, well, the church's expenses continue. And we also, frankly, support a ton of missions and people. A big part of what we do as a local church body is is give money away to individuals in need, to other organizations, mission causes around the world. And frankly, the global church is suffering because of this. Individuals are suffering because of this. And we make a greater impact when we combine our resources and steward them. And so none of that is stopped. And so if you keep giving faithfully, lfbaptist.org/give, or you bring contributions to a house church gathering that we'll send in to Nancy to get those in the bank, then our deacons and everybody else can keep being about the mission. Frankly, I think we're going to be offering greater and greater support to individuals and other ministries because we tend to have a surplus, because we budget and live in such a way that we can give more away than we keep. So anyway, that's why we keep giving, because we're still a church and we've still made commitments to each other and to our community. And we've found that stewarding our gifts together is the right way. It's a way of submitting to each other and to trying to trust God through each other to steward resources together. So another question, last question maybe for this stream is, will we start the house churches this week? The answer is likely. In some cases, we will have a few options at least. We'll certainly stream something from one of the houses, but they may not all be up and running this week. So you're just gonna have to stay tuned. Each day will be a different day on updates on that. The next step though is you should get a call from someone inviting you to a gathering. And I'm asking for graciousness. If you are willing to gather anywhere, please be willing to gather at the home that calls you, and not just say, well, I'd rather gather over at this place, or I'd rather gather at this place. This is not just about us. It's about us being the best version of church we can, as safely as we can, as locally as we can, and gathering together to be creative and ask God, how can we be a blessing to our neighbors in these trying times? And how can we stay as Jesus-centered as a single church or a network of house churches in our case now during these trying times? So be of good cheer, church. We're taking a day at a time and we're trusting the Lord. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.